Hello, my lovely students. This is Miss Razan. Now, we are going to continue the last part of plants and animals in hot countries. But in this lesson, we are going to focus on animals. As the plants have some clever ways of keeping cool and saving water, also animals have clever ways of keeping cool and saving water. So, animals like camels and elephants have thick skins to protect them from the sun. So again, camels and elephants, they have thick skin to protect them from the sun. So if I ask you, how can they live in hot countries, or how can elephants and camels live in hot countries? You have to answer that they have thick skins to protect them from the sun. Again, how can camels and elephants live in hot countries? They have thick skins to protect them from the sun. Okay. What about snakes, gerbils, and lizards? What do you think? How do lizards, snakes, and gerbils protect themselves from the sun? What do you think? The answer is already written in your screen. Okay, so lizards, snakes, and gerbils hide from the sun in burrows or under rocks. So, some animals like lizards, snakes, and gerbils hide from the sun in burrows. So they hide in burrows, or they hide under rocks. In burrows, under rocks. So again, how do lizards, snakes, and gerbils protect themselves from the sun? Okay, they can hide in burrows. Here we have an example, gerbils in burrows. So they can hide in burrows, or also they can hide under rocks. Here we have an example. We have a snake under a rock. So if I ask you again, try to answer it alone. How do lizards, snakes, and gerbils protect themselves from the sun? Answer it now. Excellent. Because they hide from the sun in burrows or under rocks. Okay. The last two animals that we are going to talk about for today, bats and moths. So, other animals like bats and moths only come out at night. So if you look at the picture, you will find that bat is coming out at night. So, bats and moths don't come out during the day. So, they protect themselves from the sun. So, bat is coming out at night, and here also moth is coming out at night. So, they don't come out during the day to protect themselves from the sun. So, let's repeat. We have the first two animals, camels and elephants. They have thick skins to protect them from the sun. So how can they live in hot countries? Because they have thick skins to protect them from the sun, so they can live in hot countries. What about snakes, gerbils, and lizards? They hide themselves under rocks or in burrows, so they protect themselves from the sun. Here we have gerbil in burrow And here we have snake under a rock. And also bats and moths, they protect themselves from the sun so they don't come out during the day. And also they still at night, coming out at night. Okay, now we have questions on your book, page 89. So please open your book. The first question: do you remember your work about the sun? Circle the time of day when you would prefer to be outside. And why is this? Okay. When you would prefer to be outside? In sunrise, midday, or at sunset? What would you prefer to be outside? At sunrise, midday, or sunset? Actually, to me, I prefer to be outside at sunset. Why I prefer that? Because it's cooler when the sun is low in the sky. If you remember, we said that when the sun is low in the sky, so the weather be cool. So, what would you or when would you prefer? Actually, to me, you can answer sunset or sunrise or midday, it's up to you. But I prefer to be outside at sunset because it's cooler when the sun is low in the sky. If your answer at sunrise, actually sunrise and sunset the same weather, so sunrise the weather is cool, so because the sun is low in the sky. Okay. Now, what about this cloud? So if you want, please write inside the cloud section A. The question is, imagine you are an animal in the desert. How can you keep cool and save water? So the question now, you have to close your eyes and imagine that you are an animal in this desert and tell me, how can you keep cool and save water? Okay, how can you keep cool and save water? Actually, you can keep cool and save water in many ways. The first one, you can hide from the sun and come out at night. So if you hide from the sun and come out at night, you will protect yourself from the sun, and also that stops them from losing water. So hiding from the sun and coming out at night and also stay in the shade, those stops the animals or stops you from losing water. So I can hide, or I hide from the sun and come out at night, and also I can stay in the shade. Those three things keep you cool and save water. Okay, so please write the answer in your book. The three. Let's start with the first question. What are the two biggest problems plants and animals living in hot and dry countries have? So what are the main problems that plants and animals can have? Actually, two problems. The first one, saving water. So plants and animals, they need water to stay alive, so they need to save water. So number one, saving water, and also keeping cool. So they want to keep cool because they cannot live under the high temperature, under the sun. So they try to keep cool by many ways, by living under rocks, by living in burrows, by hiding or coming out at night only. So we have many problems to keep cool. So what are the two biggest problems? Number one, saving water, and the second one, keeping cool. So please write the answer in your book. Saving water and keeping cool. Okay. Question number 2. What can plants do to stay strong and healthy? So here we are talking about plants. So what can plants do to stay strong and healthy? Actually, plants grow in the shade. When they grow in the shade, they stay strong and healthy. And also have narrow leaves or thick waterproof leaves. Narrow leaves to prevent losing water. Also thick waterproof leaves, the same reason, to prevent losing water. And also some leaves store water. So if plants store water, so they can stay strong and healthy. So if the plant grow in the shade, stay strong and healthy. If the plants have narrow leaves or thick waterproof leaves, also they stay strong. And if the plants store water, also they stay healthy. So we have many three things: grow in the shade, or having narrow leaves or thick waterproof leaves, and the last thing, store water. Again, grow in the shade, having narrow leaves or thick waterproof leaves, and store water. Okay. What about last question? Question number 3. What can animals do to stay strong and healthy? What do you think? What can animals do to stay strong and healthy? You know that animals need water, so they have to find water. Also, they have to find shade to live in, because if they stay under the sun all the time, they will lose water. So they need to find shade and find water. So those two things that can animal do to stay strong and healthy. Okay. Now, please open your book again. Page 88. Focus with me in 88. Please write beside the title, Plants and Animals in Hot Countries, number 3. So write number 3. Then highlight what do we need from this page. You have to highlight that elephants and camels have thick skins to protect them from the sun. This is the first thing. The second thing, and that lizards, gerbils, and snakes hide from the sun in burrows or under rocks. Okay, so here we have a snake and here we have camel. And the last thing in the next page, animals like bats and moths only come out at night.